at the Kenworth dealer. Just dropped off my right way gauge installation thing, and the guy told me the truck was outside, and I thought I'd show you guys the truck, how it looks with the closed hood, because now you can actually see, right, what's going on. Because before with the open hood, it's, see, I like this, you know. And some people were saying if this is removable. Yeah, as you can see, this is not removable, so I'm not quite sure where I'm gonna put my sign. Like, yeah, the pin is removable, right, but the actual thing is bolted to the frame. And there's two more in here, you know, extra ones. And of course this is 2019 Kenworth T880, and you can tell that by the shape, by the new shape of the headlights. Because you see that's 680. 680 has different headlights, and it has nice LED lights. And check out the sticker on the window, the one that says 998396. Check out what it says above: Sergei DRATCHEV. Hey, that's me. This is my truck. Okay, we're not gonna go inside. And you see it has this, because the tires are so big, they install this, right? And it's all super nice, right? And they have this. Oh, that's where my lift pressure regulator is. That's my I meant to ask him about this. So that's the adjustment for the axle, so that's why they put it outside. And check out the exhaust pipe. They still squashed it a little bit. Not too bad, not like when the pipes are in the back, but they still squashed it. Well, actually for this one it doesn't matter, because this one is not connected anywhere. Which is still like weird design, you know. That's why I wanted one horizontal pipe, you know, like I don't care. Somebody was eating some snacks in here. So yeah, huge tanks. Yeah, mirrors, you see, that's how it locks. That's how the hood locks over here. I think this is pretty good. Okay, so storage compartments here. This thing can be opened, so lots of light in the sleeper. So that's my battery, and this is for the, you know, for the air to drain some moisture when it's there, right? And so these should be 425. So yeah, my steers are 425, 65, 22.5, and my pusher should be the same. Yeah, 425, 65, 22.5. So basically the way we did it is that, you know how you leave your truck, let's say somewhere at a truck stop, and somebody steals a tire, you know. If somebody steals a tire, so you can always use, let's say if somebody steals the steer tire, you can use this tire and put it in the front. If someone steals this tire, you can use the steer tire. It's very convenient, you know, in trucking operation. Okay, and yesterday I couldn't find the size, so finally now I see. You see, 11R 24.5. 24.5, and that's why you may think that the truck, like the wheels are closer. It's because the wheels are much bigger. And of course, if I decide at one point in time to go to 22.5 tires, I would need to replace the rims, but I don't want to do that. I like how the truck is tall. I need that. Otherwise, right now with the Mac, actually, before, like I mentioned before, I couldn't even use the setting 1 on the gooseneck, you know, because the truck was too low. Because the way my trailer is packed, this has to be 50 inches. The top of the fifth wheel has to be 50 inches. I think now it's a bit taller, but that's okay. And so yeah, so this is steerable, like the super long wheel slider. That's what it should be for a heavy haul. See, That's how everything is mounted over here. Yeah, so all these are 20,000 pounds. That's 20,000 pounds, and this is 23, so 46. New-way suspension, and so 54-inch spacing over here. So wheelbase is 254 inches. You know, not too short, not too long. I don't like long trucks because it's difficult to transfer the weight to the front, and so even this one, it's already longer than my Mack, you know. And so once I get the flip box extension, I was able to utilize this humongous fifth wheel slider. See, brand new tires. And so what we have on the, what's the tire make here? Yeah, so Goodyear. So the super singles are Goodyear G296 MSA, and the drives are Bridgestone M726EL. And I love these tires. They last forever because of this super big tread, and actually they get pretty good fuel mileage. I had them on my Mack, I had them on my International. Very happy. Yeah, unfortunately the lights are, like I mentioned yesterday, they're old school. They're rotators, but they're huge, you know, they're huge. And they installed, you see how they installed on special kit, so they sit taller. So I know those, even though they're like old school, but they have a great visibility, you know, you can see them from like miles away, you know. So I kind of like that, you know. It's kind of like makes the truck look a bit different, you know. And yeah, so everything is here the same as yesterday. Oh yeah, and here you can see the difference with this pipe, whereas the left one was going sideways, right? This one, you see how this one, and I don't know if you can see it, you can see over there the pipe, how it stops and it's not connected anywhere, right? And that one was going sideways, this one is going down, right? Because that's where the unit is for the emissions, and it's hooked up in there. And you see, oh, I like that there's no window in here. I actually like that because I'm thinking of, you know, of signage. And I start looking at trucks now, I start noticing what kind of signs people put on. And on the Mack I had this problem. There was this big window, so you cannot put up a sign here. So I think that's where I'll put my trade name, you know, SERGEI DRATCHEV heavy haul. And I'm leaning towards orange, maybe with a white edge, you know, orange with white or orange with yellow, maybe just yellow, I don't know. And here I'll put all my, you know, the regular stuff. I'll just probably use like white color, you know, DOT number, MC number, stuff like that, my legal name. And actually I can even put something over there, maybe, you know, like put my SERGEI DRATCHEV heavy haul, like one line, because that's pretty big, right under that window, you know, maybe like 3-inch letters, I don't know. And also I was thinking of creating some simple logo, maybe like, you know, hammer and sickle. Just kidding, that was in the Soviet Union. The logo was the hammer and the sickle, because it was farmers and proletariat, working people. But something like that, some kind of a shape, maybe, you know, something that makes the truck a bit more recognizable. But actually I think once you see this truck, it's hard kind of to forget, because you don't see many of these Kenworth with, you know, this big heavy haul setup. So I think it's gonna stand out no matter what, but especially with some bright signs, I think it'll look cool. And probably the unit number 305 will go somewhere here on both sides. And I'm thinking maybe I'll also add, maybe put on the back, maybe on the very top, I don't know. Shall I put the my website address, maybe, you know, for my YouTube channel, heavyhaultv.ca, because that you cannot use a YouTube name because it's proprietary, right? But I can use my website name, which is hooked to my YouTube channel, so I can put www.heavyhaultv.ca, something like watch this truck in action. You put it in there. But we'll see. I don't want to spend too much money, but just to make the truck a bit more recognizable, kind of like for marketing purposes, you know. And I like these are really huge. Check this out. On the Mac, I think they were like this size, you know. So these are much bigger, but it's still only one filter, and you see all the lights are LED. It's kind of make you wonder why they use LED everywhere, and then they use the flashing lights, they use, you know, old school. I don't know, everything should be LED. See over here, but I think this is just a reflector. No, it still has a Y in there. I think this is a light as well. And the plate, so I'm guessing the plate will be hanging like this, you know, just on 2 bolts. Alright, so this is cool. I'm glad that I came today, because at least I can see the truck with the hood down. And now we're gonna take some pictures, and now you guys see the entire truck. And of course it'll look much better once they have the fenders. You know, the fenders are black with chrome bands, so it'll look even better. But check out how tall it is. So basically, yeah, it's not a flat roof anymore. Flat top sleeper, that was what we spec'd in the T800. And that one, if I had that truck, it would have only 1 bunk, because flat top sleeper you cannot have 2 bunks. But this one is actually, it's a mid-roof sleeper, and it has 2 bunks, you know, and I'm really happy about that. So I emailed my brother right away. I said, okay, now if you come over for a visit, I know where to, you know, where you're gonna sleep, you know. And check this out. This is another thing that I didn't have on my Mac. I don't think I had shocks. I think I had these airbags, you know, for the cab, but I didn't have these. So this is really nice. And you see, that's well, these are really solid glad hands, easy to work with, and that's where they go. Working lights. Like I said, the truck is so dirty. I think the first thing I'll have to do is go and get it washed. Yeah, the axle ratio is supposed to be 410. I don't think I can see it anyway here, but it should be 410. And 410 with the 24.5 tires, it's the same as 391 with 22.5. That's what my Mac came with from the factory, right? And then I changed it to 410 because that just had no power. So this should be good. This should run around I think 60 miles an hour. It'll be at 1400 or 1450, somewhere there, because I don't want to drive faster, like when I'm empty. 62, I think, yeah, 62 is 1450, which is, I think, perfect. You know, I don't drive fast, but this will still, I'm pretty happy with 60, 62, 65 sometimes. Perfect. All right, so let's just take a couple of pictures and get out of here. It's really cold. My hands are falling off because today is like -4 Celsius, which is like 25 F, you know. But that's my new truck. Okay, here's some pictures. this video. Now I'm in my car. My hands are warm. I'm in Cambridge, right next to my familiar Starbucks over here. Just got an email from a friend. If you remember, I talked a few times about this guy who used to pull tankers, and then under kind of like my influence, he switched to flatbed and step deck. And I remember first couple of months he was complaining and bitching, oh, so much work, you know, not enough pay. And then he switched to Landstar, and he started pulling a step deck, and he became happier because the rates, of course, Landstar, you know, because it's a big fleet, they have the rates, they can demand higher freight rates, you know. But he would send me, hey, you know, I'm doing this like $6 a mile, $5 a mile on a step deck. And at first I'm like, kind of like, why are you doing this? Why are you sending me this? Because of course I cannot get those rates sometimes, even on a double drop IGN, especially when I was with the previous company. Now it's different story when I'm on my own. But what this guy kept forgetting to add is that that's not his money. That's the rate per mile from Landstar, right? He's getting 73%, and he still pays insurance, he still pays licensing and stuff like that. And the new development with this guy is that he got so frustrated with he wanted to buy a double drop, right, like I mentioned before, when I went with this guy to Fontaine. You know, if that guy calls me, I don't know what to tell him, because I was helping him to spec the double drop. He wanted to buy a 40-ton double drop, and now, you know, he can see at Landstar, right, you see the prices, and that's, I remember when I started with him, it helped me a lot to, you know, focus, to learn which area I wanted to specialize in. And that's how I chose heavy haul, because I saw consistently higher rates. But the crazy thing now is that regular trailers have the same, if not better, rates. I talked to a few guys in US, like a couple of Russian guys, and yeah, we're watching your videos, but you know, for us, we were thinking about this, but we're doing flatbed and we're getting, you know, so many dollars per mile, and it's like really good, and of course it's US dollars, you know. So these guys are doing a regular flatbed. So what this guy did, this Chinese, my Chinese friend who wanted to buy the 40-ton double drop, he called Landstar and he said, that's it, I'm done with the step deck. And he switched to dry van. I said, are you crazy? I said, and we are friends on Facebook. I said, I think I'll have to unfriend you, because I cannot be friends with somebody who's pulling dry vans. You know, this is a heavy haul, kind of like community heavy haul club, you know, heavy haul TV, Kenworth heavy, everything is big and heavy. And now this guy will be hauling dry vans, but he just sent me a description of a load he's doing, and from Texas going to Western Canada, and the rate is just what a few years ago a double drop would pay, you know. Like, of course it's a lot of miles, but the regular drive and load pays a lot of money, you know. So I know. So now this guy said he's tired of chains and binders. He saw the demand for this and he switched. He doesn't care. But I'm not switching, you know. I'm not doing it for the money. Even if there's no money, sooner or later the market will turn, because it's all seasonal. Like, I wanted to caution people not familiar with the freight market in US and Canada. It all goes up and down, you know. One day you can make a bunch of money with dry van or flatbed, and the next day you make a killing with the IGN or double drop, you know. It all depends what people need to move. But I think in general, I think he rushed a bit, because something tells me that this year, 2018, is going to be great for, you know, all kinds of trailers, especially I hope for me as well, because you know, the spring is coming and that's the construction season. And then I remember with the previous company, I made most money late spring, early summer. That was one peak for me. And of course I do Canada to US, US to Canada. And then my second peak in earnings was always December. You know, December, lots of shipments, and lots of people don't want to work. They shut down for Christmas. I usually truck all the way December non-stop to like December 30th or December 31st, because for me that's the main holiday. I don't celebrate Christmas, and so I run all December. I make as much money as I can, because then January, February are very slow, right? So that's like my situation. So 2 times a year it was a peak, summer and December. So I think it's gonna turn around for heavy haul as well. So yeah, I see that the rates are not as good as they used to be, and it's the emphasis kind of shifted towards regular trailers. But you know, somebody still need to move these machines. Like on a dry van, you cannot pick up you know, 90,000 pound wheel loader or 80,000 pound excavator, right? They still need to move. Somebody still, houses are being built, factories are being built, you know, construction guys need the equipment. So I'm hopeful, and that's the thing I wanted to leave you guys with, that it's all seasonal, things will change, and I'm hoping for the better. So take care, stay tuned.